Body all finished up in primer. Did all the body work on it. Wasn't actually too bad. Some door dings and little marks over there. A little bit on the trunk. Nothing actually crazy, surprisingly. A little bit right there. Door dings. A couple dings on the roof. The fenders, though, were the worst of it. And then the hood actually wasn't too bad. Sanded the whole front edge down. Sanded the whole front edge of the hood down as well. Took out any rock chips that were actually there. I didn't actually just fill them with putty, which a lot of people do, but it'll end up coming back and most likely chipping off unless you actually fully sand it down. Get rid of the chips, not just fill them. And then these fenders too were in a little bit rougher shape. There's some body work needing to be done right there as well too. Other than that, this thing was pretty straight. Spent a couple days on the body and getting it all tore apart with all the seals and all that stuff and all the fragile stuff and those seals and those jammies right there. Took the interior trim and all those out just so it comes out cleaner. Definitely can't take the back glass or the side windows or even the front windshield out pretty much anymore just because of how rare these things are and extremely difficult to get. There's some bodywork over here too. Bumper was the worst. To be honest, I'm not going to really worry too much about that. I just really wanted to get rid of all that nasty, just whatever that is. After so long, these cars, the rear bumpers end up fading, and then it just like deteriorates and just like deteriorates, whatever. And it just gets all disgusting. And then the center was actually dented in as well too, so I got a hammer and dolly set over there and went to town on it, heated it up, grinded it, and then got the metal all hard again so it wasn't all brittle and stretched out. So heated that up, worked the metal out a lot better, and then did a little bit of body work on it, a little bit of Bondo, should be all good. Not a problem at all. Just block sand that jammy out, and then work on the body kit because that's going to need some love too. But luckily enough, it's an OEM Type X body kit or lip kit essentially. So that's all OEM, and then it's got the OEM little wiggly thing right there for the fender, and then the OEM Type X bumper, which is brand new. Can't really do anything to that because I mean it's brand new, so got to prep that out for plastic and all that stuff, and that'll be the last thing I actually shoot most likely. But just sand those down with the bumper actually, because that's raw plastic as well too. These were already painted before, the side moldings, the OEM ones, so I'm gonna just scuff those down, sand them down with like 180, 100 grit or whatever, prime those up, make them all clean. And then the rear section of the rear bumper and side as well is a Dorky Dory lip kit on it, which is actually extremely hard to find as well now too. I think he's making new orders. And then it has a Dorky Dory front lip, which I got it actually. That one I definitely have to prime because the ejection mold, there's a bunch of pinholes in it, and I want to fill those in just so it makes it look 100% kind of deal and make it look as good and clean as possible for this car, because it deserves it for actually how clean it is, with the interior just looking beautiful and gorgeous. Got a Nardi wheel, R33 front seats. It's got actual the actual trim panels are from a right-hand drive coupe. Besides the headliner is from an American one, of course, the same one. So there is a slight gap because of the what is it? The seat belts. Got the whole jams all tore apart. Took the seals off in there. I'm gonna get new door seals because these are trash. They break no matter what. So I'm gonna shoot the inside of the door, inside of the jam, match it 100%. Full interior. It's got the phase 2 motor trend caps, or not caps, floor mats. This right here. Oh God. Oh God. You can't find that. Cup holders. Cup holders. Fuses, of course, because it is a 240. That jammy new radio. Digital AC and heat controller. I gotta wire that. Well, it's all wired in and it works, but I gotta get it working. The AC and all that stuff. The cluster is actually kilometers, but it was converted over to miles an hour. But it is actually really cool. Apexi gauges, air fuel ratio gauge, because you have to have one of these in pretty much any turboed car if you want to actually be safe, because you never know. It is old. Bone stock SR, little goodies with it, but overall, this thing is awesome. Shuts beautifully. It's got raised 17 by 9.5, one of those numbers. R33 rear brakes and R33 front brakes as well. I think I'm going to spray these gloss black and then shave the lettering off so you can actually see the Nissan just like that. So I'll probably shoot those gloss black, make them clean. It's got an actual working R33. The whole e-brake setup is actually working. I know a lot of the cars, they just throw the brakes in and call it good, and no e-brake on that, but it's got stock e-brake because I'm not a big fan of hydro. It's fun, but I like the OEM style setup. Probably not going to actually drift this car, to be honest, because of how nice I'm going to make it. It's most likely going to be show car quality because I'm going to do all the jams, block sand all the panels for the most part, all the flat panels with 220, go over with 320 again, just to get rid of the 220 scratches. And I'm going to shoot the panels separate, so the whole front end is going to come off. So I'll take all that off, shoot the fenders, the hood off, the headlight caps off, trunk, because I got to paint the inside of the trunk because it's white. So I'm going to shoot that. I'll shoot the trunk off, the whole kit and caboodles and all that stuff is going to be shot off the car just so it's a lot cleaner paint job, of course. But I'm going to end up sealing the whole entire car. So I'm going to just finish everything in 320 grit. And then it'll be alright for wet on wet of some sealer. That'll get rid of all the sand scratches. It'll even cover 220 sand scratches, but I want to finish everything in 320 just so it's a lot cleaner and doesn't absorb as much. I'll shoot the back section as well too when I have the trunk off and do the inside jam. Other than that, this car is legit. It's fun, works great, and follow it, I guess, because it's gonna be a long process, that's for sure. So I'm happy the body's at least done and prepped out, primed. Now I just gotta get some time and block sand the whole entire car and get it all ready. The whole kit, that's what I gotta do next. So this is gonna be sitting like this for a little while and go from there. At least it's all covered and no exposed bare metal and Bondo and all that good stuff, so it'll be all good. But nah, I'm stoked for this. It's gonna be a nice Nice bright red. I know a lot of people do bright red, of course, on these cars, especially like a 1 Via or Type X, but I mean, it's the go-to. Like, I couldn't think of any other color I wanted to do. I was thinking black, but I've already had a black S13 hatch, and that thing was a pain in the ass to maintain on keeping it clean because you'd wash it, pull it in the garage, it's already dirty again 10 seconds later. And I've never actually had a red car. And I just like the red, like, I just really like the looks of red 240s, especially for how clean this is going to end up being. I gotta make it look nice, so after I shoot it, I'm going to do a color sand and polish on it too, color sand and buff polish, and most likely do a ceramic coat on it. I'll most likely have a buddy of mine help me with that and have him do the ceramic coating. I know how to do it, but I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy, so. Plus, I'm not going to want to touch the car after I do all this stuff already. But, yeah, I do a little ceramic coat on it, nice little cut and buff on it, just to make it just glassy. So, yeah, I'm stoked. So, stay tuned because it's going to be a long process. So, bear with me because it's not going to be any time soon that this thing is going to be done. So, I'll, I guess, try to keep updated as much as possible. I'm not good with YouTube and I'm not good with actually recording or whatnot, but a lot more updates on my actual Instagram, griffin.s13. So that's usually where I post more of this stuff. I'm all new to this video recording and actually talking on an actual camera because usually I'm a little camera shy with that. I don't know, it just feels weird. Judge me, whatever. But yeah, stay tuned, peeps. Deuces.